From the heart of Europe to the world, this is RTI.
Thank you so much. It really is. It's Postcard from Poprad time here on RTI, Radio Tatras International, your happy station. Well, it will be today. I'm in such a devil-may-care attitude. Oh, I could crush a grape. They have been limbering up, the pair of them, and it's been a bit worrying. But as I said before, don't tell Rachel, don't tell her that Kylie Minogue was heard before the show, because she will go off into one, and it'll be terrible. But anyway, before all that, we'll go to misery. No, what is it? A mugwump. Not so clever bloke. Leigh Banks.
I'm a mugwump.
A mugwump.
Rachel, may I just tell you, he's been talking about Kylie Minogue. You know, that woman who robbed you of your favourite belt all those years ago and won't give it you back. Yeah, Kylie Minogue.
He's horrendous.
Can I just say hello to Davina?
Well, you just have.
Yeah.
Hello, Davina. Davina J. Rhodes. We love you.
But that's the third time you've done it now.
Hello, Davina J. Rhodes. We love you.
That's the fourth time.
Hello, Davina J. Rhodes.
Let's get rid of him out the way. And we'll come back with Rachel. Hello, Rach.
Hello.
Are you right?
Yeah, I was fine. And I was fine, and then you mentioned the singing budgie, and now I'm not.
Ah, right. I just want to know what the traffic's like near you.
What's it got to do with you?
Well, because I gather there's people in Australia belting home to get to this programme. I'm just wondering if the roads are empty yet.
Davina Roads?
Like it's very Armageddon-esque. It's very I Am Legend. It's all very solitary. There are tumbleweeds out in the street. No Paul's dashing to get home. I know that Adam wasn't clogging up the streets because he was already home.
Good on you, Adam.
But Adam's
now
not even...
to go out.
No, he's not going out now. He's staying in.
He's staying in. Yeah. He's come out and he's staying in.
Hey, Rach.
That's correct.
Rach.
Yes.
I think we're wrecking the culture of Australia.
Aye.
Well, no. I think we're enhancing the culture of Australia, and that's nice. That's always nice to do.
All right.
There's more culture in a tub of yoghurt than there is in Australia.
Oh, I've got a message.
You know, last week you said we had no values, Uncle Leigh, and this week you've said we've got no culture. So
exactly.
When I see you in December, after I jump up and down on the lovely new bed you just bought me, I'm going to punch you directly in the face.
I've got an image in my brain that's not good.
Imagine if I didn't like Australians, what I'd be saying about them.
That's true.
I have a message already. It's flooded.
Oh?
It's flooded in, and it's for Mr. Banks.
Oh, heck.
And it says, "Watch it, Leigh."
Watch what? I'm on the radio. How can I watch anything? I don't have a telly in my studio. I'm a person off the radio.
Well, Mr. Rhodes says, "Watch it, Leigh."
Davina, I told you she'd be on. It's you who described him as a candy girl.
Don't tell him that.
It was him, Davina. He called you a candy girl. He says there's two candy girls. There's Rachel, but she's too old to be one now. So he's picked on you.
Rachel's not too old to be candy girl.
Say it, you said it.
No.
Sure I am. Must be.
No, you can still be candy girl.
Candy girl, yeah. Just like...
The candy girl have a dicky hip? Is that qualified?
Oh, I like this idea. We now have another message from Dave which says, "I could make Leigh look bad and start a war."
Well,
I'd love to see that image. I really, Rachel and I in perfect condition, well, as good as I can be, and Leigh all sort of wonky with spots and things.
Wonky with spots?
Yes.
Me? I'm not a boiling boy. I like womenly women and manly men, boily boys.
Oh dear. Anyway. Thank you, Dave. I'm looking forward to this picture that's coming over, and we will publish it on Facebook. We're going to be serious for a minute because Rachel was telling us before the programme that one of her sort of heroes is this gentleman who sadly passed away at the age of 73, Rachel.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one hit me just as hard as Prince when he passed away. Jonathan Demme was one of my absolute idols growing up. When I was in film school in Sydney, we went round the group on the first day of film school and you had to say who was your favourite director and who you wanted to be like, and everybody said the usual stuff, George Lucas, Steven Spielberg, all that, rah-rah. And I said Jonathan Demme, and he'd won the Academy Award for Silence of the Lambs the year previous. But nobody knew much about him, but he was prolific. He was a protege of Roger Corman.
Oh, right.
And Roger, for those who don't know, was the Pope of pop culture. He did heaps of those really awful but excellent B-grade indie films back in the day.
He did the best film ever of Caravaggio.
That's true. And
just also join in.
Right.
He was no, that's great. Thank you.
All right.
Jonathan Demme directed a lot of films that Roger Corman produced early in his career, and then he went on to do other things. But he was responsible for Silence of the Lambs, Philadelphia, Married to the Mob, and the list goes on and on. But he was an absolute genius in my book. And I'm so sad that he's died now at 73.
Excuse me.
There you go. Well, somebody who's a little bit older than that has just joined us. It's Gary Bond, as in the Sky Sports person. Hello, Gary. How are you? Trust you well.
Hello.
Also, Shadow Eyes just joined us, as has DW Fix and various other people. As we move on to, this guy, I actually... The guy who we talk about next, I remember looking at his book.
Because you thought it was about motorbikes.
I did. Oh dear. Hello, Sam, by the way.
Where did you buy a book, Uncle Larry?
I don't know. That's also a funny thing.
What is?
I was never taught engines by anybody.
Neither was I. It made my life complete.
You wait till Nissan get it both barrels shortly.
Oh, I know.
Oh, they are. Excuse me, wait a minute, excuse me. Nissan, that's it, I'm knocking on your screen right now because it's you next.
Yeah, you're next.
You're next. Anyway, Robert Pirsig was the author of Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance, which led me astray completely.
It's one of the best books ever written.
Is it?
Yeah.
There was no BSAs or Triumphs
Leigh,
there.
Uncle, help. What you doing?
I don't know.
What?
I'm asking you for your assistance.
I'm sorry, I was ignoring you. I was talking to Dave. I was talking to Davina Rhodes on the Facebook thing.
Can you please concentrate on the actual job at hand? That would be great.
I'm so sorry.
Leigh, can I remind you of something?
What's that, dear?
You're a manly man.
I'm a manly man. I'm not a boily boy.
Which means you can only do one thing at a time.
Exactly, and what I was doing, I shouldn't have been doing, and I'm ashamed.
Right.
Terrible.
You're naughty
I was
boy.
saying that the Zen of I don't even know the name of this book now. I'm all flumming. You've upset me, Uncle Leigh.
Zen and Art of Motorcycle Maintenance.
It's one of the best books ever written.
I've never read it. I know about it. I've
God.
heard.
What?
I know,
Of
honestly.
all people on the planet who should have read this book, it's you.
I know, but it's got like him. He thought it was about motorcycles. I thought it was about motorcycles. I've never touched an engine in my life. I've never even seen one except one that's been wearing a bonnet. And that's it. So I've never read it. But I wish I had now. And the poor old chap's died. He was 88, though, you know, everybody. 88. So good age. He did very well, very well.
Still didn't have a Triumph or a BSA in it.
No, and now he's in the sidecar of life.
It's got to be great, Uncle Leigh. You should get it. Read it. You'll really enjoy it. And the motorcycle is merely a metaphor.
A metaphor. I had a Kawasaki. I know he had a Vincent Black Shadow.
Oh, well, you should try and write a metaphor.
Oh, see how I led her into that joke? That's how generous I am as a broadcaster.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Hang on, if you're a broadcaster, what does it make me?
That makes... I'm not telling you.
I've got to say hi to David Kesner, who's joined us as well from President Records, none other than they have a really cool record label, actually. Hello, David. Nice to see you and your team here. That's cool. The Temptations bass player, Kerry Turnman, has died at the age of just 59 years.
Oh, that's terrible, isn't it? Yeah. I see. What's happened here? Gets the Dead film producer. You get the one about motorcycles, and I get the one about the Temptations. Well, I hate the Temptations.
They're brilliant.
Well, they are actually. Yeah, what I've heard of them, but he's dead. Kerry Turnman. Is he a man?
Yes. No, I was quite honoured I was quite honoured in Las Vegas to actually go meet them.
Were you indeed?
Yeah, in the Motown bar. They were on there. There was the Temptations were there. Who else was there? I can't remember. It was the Temptations I wanted to go and see anyway, and went to the Motown bar on the top end of the Strip, and they're just fantastic.
Was it them who did Would I Lie to You?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Davina, who did Would I Lie to You?
You're going to die in a minute.
He's put something rude on Facebook about me. I'm bound to have a go at him.
Well, nobody can see that. It's radio, dear.
But they can look on Facebook and I'll be tainted for the rest of my life by that David Rhodes.
But you're already tainted.
Hey, Uncle Leigh, use your inside voice.
Yes. Unfortunately, let's get back to the poor old boy. He was about to go on stage with the Beach Boys when he passed away, but it would appear from the coroner's verdict that it was just natural causes, which does make you think he's 59 and I'm marginally older.
83.
Thank you. You're wonderful. Questions being raised in London at the moment, which is, did the family tip off the security services about this idiot who had a rucksack full of knives outside Parliament, who was arrested this week? And there seems to be an awful lot of growing, I'm loath to say evidence. I think it's more like hearsay at the moment, but there's a lot of people suggesting that this guy, nutty as he was dropped in it by his family, and then straight after that a woman has been shot by police and 4 people arrested. That was just last night after an anti-terror operation in northwest London and Kent.
Yeah,
they got some more of them, which is brilliant. Well done, the police.
It's not speculation, really. This is a true story, and actually, it is probably the only silver lining in this dreadful story of terrorism that actually a family has seen sense and probably shopped there. So they probably saved his life as well. There's probably a reason behind that. What is particularly scary about this particular one, the bag of knives, is that as he was taken away by the police, having not been shot because he was shopped by his family, he grinned at the camera. He had found his Andy Warhol 15 minutes of fame. He was now a terrorist.
15 seconds.
He hasn't, no, because he'll end up in court. There'll be all sorts of things. This man has created for himself what he wanted to be. He's become a celebrity in his own lunchbox. And yes, I hope it was his family who shopped him. And well done, the media, for finding out that story, because it's the only positive thing to do with this state of terrorism we live in.
Good.
You know what? Whenever I hear about the police foiling these things, the first thing that I think of is, if they want to have access to my metadata to stop criminals like this perpetrating terror on the world, then they can have it.
Yep.
So whenever people get all antsy about metadata and privacy, et cetera, I think, well, okay, yes, that's a good point. However, if it stops people doing things like this, you can have at it.
Yep. Rach, would you like to officially call Mr. Banks a numpty?
If you want to.
Uncle Leigh?
Yes, dear.
You're a numpty.
Thank you very much. I love you.
Because Dave has just reminded us, Would I Lie to You was a song by Charles and Eddie, and it dates back to 1992, nothing to do with the Temptations.
Charles and Eddie, were they in the Temptations then?
Oh, you despair sometimes, don't you?
Uncle Eric?
What?
Uncle Eric, wasn't it also a song by the Eurythmics?
Yes.
Yeah, see, David?
So basically, you're a double numpty because you got it wrong twice, Leigh.
No, I opened up the gates to this fabulous discussion about the temptations and the temptation of listening to songs like "Would I Lie to You."
I hope you're wearing Wellingtons today.
No, I'm sitting next to the toilet, so I'll be all right, Eric. Don't worry about it.
I say you're walking through cow manure at the moment. What's happening in Australia, Rach? Snow?
Oh no.
Well, I think this is a bit of hysteria, just quietly. I mean, yes, there's a bit of snow, but we are coming into winter, so it makes sense that it's going to appear on the lovely mountaintops in the snowfields in Australia, I guess. But yeah, it has been particularly cold. There was a bit of an Arctic breeze. They say it was an Arctic blast, but I felt that it was more of a breeze. They were overselling just a little. Actually, it got to the point where I was actually telling our good friend Adam.
Uh-huh.
I had cut really short last weekend, and when I noticed when this Arctic breeze flew through, I went, "What is that sensation that I have never experienced in my life?" And like all of a sudden, I realised that my head was completely frozen, and now I walk around in a hat a lot of the time because it has been very cold. But I don't know. I mean, yes, there's some snow. Yes, there's this and that. But it's April. It's May. We're coming to winter. It's
Okay.
bound to happen.
Okay, I just thought it was Mother Nature being clever.
No,
I just thought it was interesting that,
Because Mother
that you're
Nature
coming into winter.
Hang on a minute, because Mother Nature is suffering with the heat killing off all the coral reefs, and then in comes a blast of cold.
That's true, but it's not unusual, especially where we are down south. It's not at all. But it gets bitterly cold. I guess it was a little bit earlier than usual, but climate change is just doing some really interesting
Odd things.
Yeah,
apparently, Leigh, you are now a triple numpty.
Why?
Because there was a Simply Red version of Would I Lie to You as well.
That's disgusting, isn't it? Imagine Simply Red ruining that song, eh? And that disgusting that they actually had the cheek to make it.
You're joking me.
I'm rotting you.
You're joking me.
Joking.
Yes, I feel a moment I might play Red Red Wine.
That red wine, that's fine. That's by Thingy. That's not by that red-headed person.
Red Wine was recorded by Simply Red.
You're just being racist against red-headed people, against gingers.
I thought it was UB40.
Yeah, UB40 did it as well.
IB39.
Oh, God. I'm going to give up today. Vauxhall, as known by a completely different name in Europe. And
Crap.
What?
Nothing. Never spoke.
You liar.
Well, you said Vauxhall's known by another name, so I just said crap.
You. Oh. And, of course, they know by a different name down in Australia as well. But anyway.
Yes, they're known as
Bogan.
Kevin.
Anyway, the Sophia B, which is a model that's globally accepted as being the right name, has been chastised by the Transport Select Committee in London because they reckon that Vauxhall or Otis or whatever it happens to be recklessly disregarded the safety for people who were driving these darn things. Because apparently they used to go up in a puff of smoke.
Well, what can you say?
Well,
No, story. I'm going to say after
Should we move on then?
it's like a car dealership sending back a car with exposed wheel bearings not covered up on the front.
Oh, here we go, Rachel. He's had a bit of trouble.
Oh no!
Do you know what? Do you know what's really dangerous? I don't know why people do it.
I'm sorry, David. He's off.
I'll tell you, it's really bizarre. They come on the phone.
Who does?
People, and they talk to you like you're an idiot.
And
they go,
"Here before."
blah 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 blah, and I go, yes. Why would a manufacturer of a car return a car with exposed front wheel bearings? Because that's what... The only thing I can think of is it gives them more work replacing them.
What's wrong with having your wheel bearings exposed?
Because all the salt and dirt from the road gets into the bearing, scrunches the bearing up, which means your front steering goes a bit wonky. Could actually fail if it got really bad.
You're talking about the bearings. I thought you were talking about your wheel nuts. Sorry. I'm just technical.
Which street corner did I find you?
It was in the village of the Damned in 1989. I was standing outside the Cock Inn.
Yes.
He was on the... You found him on the corner of...
And at that time, Rachel, he was drinking Dickens cider.
And you can't say that, even if we're not regulated.
You can.
How many had he had, though?
I don't know.
Ciders? I've had hundreds. I was middle-aged.
There is a brand of cider called Dickens. It's from America.
We know, but you don't have to put cider at the end of it because then it becomes pornography.
No, it does not. That's just your poor toilet's brain. I'm going to quieten you all down. Good news.
Oh, heck.
Good news. Sergeant Blackman, who was known as Marine A during the prosecutions that took place, has now been freed from jail. This is the gentleman that allegedly killed a Taliban fighter in Afghanistan, was sent to prison for murder. Lots of outcries about it as well. And I fail to see why he ever went to prison that way round in the first place. Because, it's kind of like... Hello, sir. I'm glad to get you on the telephone. There's a bad person opposite me. Do I have your permission to shoot him? By which time, the bad person's gone, baboom, and shot them.
It's one of those things. I can see how it happened where he had to be investigated for it. Because of just by the very rules of engagement. But for him actually to have been put through the hell that he has been put through, let's face it, this man was at the height of war. He was there in the height of battle, and he had a split second to make a decision. And that's what happened. For him, he maybe should have been taken to task, but he's certainly done his time for what he did when he was out there protecting us.
We've got some culture arrived on the show. Mr. Bach.
Bach?
Yes. Diesen Bach has just joined us.
Mr. Bach? Yeah, he's dogged my life, him.
Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, the good news is that Sergeant Blackman, he's out, and I don't think he'll have a problem getting a job of work. That is for sure.
Absolutely.
I think lots of people will do the same. Now, I am desperately trying not to laugh. I am desperately dead. Don't make me laugh, whatever you do. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Oh, my Lord.
Oh, I don't think it's funny at all, this.
A Russian warship has sunk after colliding with a freighter in the Black Sea off the Turkish coast.
Is that funny?
Well, when you think about it, this is a Russian warship that collided with an ordinary ship. And because it's collided with a ship, it's sunk, which doesn't say a lot for Russian warships, does it?
Well, I hope you don't find one in your back garden when you get home.
We are a landlocked country.
Well, they could have put it on wheels and rolled it down the road without you looking.
Oh, thank you very much. Anyway, the soldiers and those on board were all rescued, so that's the good bit. But it does make you wonder about the quality of so-called warships when they sink, hitting a normal, everyday boat.
Well, this one was we have to say, it was 2,418 tons. It had been around since 1977, so you'd have expected it to crack up and disappear in a host of rust. But it didn't. No, it sank the Russian warship. There's one for you, Mr. Put-It-In. That was about Dickens cider for you.
Yes, exactly.
Mr. Put-It-In.
Yes.
Carry on.
Rachel's not commenting either.
Have you got Rach?
No, honestly, I can honestly say that I have nothing to add. I'm just interested in listening to the two of you.
All right. Maybe Rachel comment on the next story, which is fantastic.
I believe you.
This is The Force is with us. The Force is with us, as is Green Cat. The Force is with us because there's another Star Wars on the way.
Yay!
Do you think we're both being really awkward and not helping you out?
No, Rachel's helping me out.
Sorry.
I'm very, very excited about these. I love these Star Wars movies. My childhood has been reborn and come back to life. And all the wonderful memories I had as a child are all coming back again. I was so excited when the last one came out.
It was actually a really good movie, wasn't it? Do you know what, Rach? I was really scared about watching that before I went to see it.
Which one?
Oh, because if it was rubbish, it would ruin the entire franchise?
Yes.
Yes, because it's not a George Lucas film.
No, it's not. And I was really nervous about going to see it. But I have to say, and bearing in mind there's lots of new characters in there as well, I thought, I don't know if this could be a real disaster for me. But I watched it, and, it was just phenomenal. They got the whole measure. Did
you see Rogue One?
Did we see you?
Because I didn't realise that Rogue One was not the story; it was a side story, actually a pre-story even.
Yes, it was a pre-story. Yeah.
I didn't realise that when I went to see it, and I went, "What's happening? Why do I feel like this is familiar but not familiar? What's going on?" And then I figured it all out eventually because I'm not very bright, let's face it. And I really enjoyed it, but I'm really looking forward to this one. The last one's going to be a bit bittersweet though, because we've lost Carrie Fisher.
I know.
Yeah.
But
and they confirmed either this week or last week. They confirmed that she will not appear in any way, shape, or form.
No, so but I thought she did do some filming for it, though, didn't she?
No, she did filming for the one, the next one.
Oh right, okay, yeah. Sorry, got it wrong, Rach. You're right.
So she'll be in the next one.
No.
Yes.
No, they said they weren't going to show her at all.
The one that's coming out at Christmas, she'd already finished filming. The one that's coming out at Christmas time, she'd already finished filming that before she passed away, so that was all good.
Okay.
But in Rogue One, they brought Grand Moff Tarkin back to life with digital trickery, and that was brilliant. So, but it was a question as to whether, and they brought her back to her younger self with digital trickery in Rogue One as well. So that they were asking the question, are they going to do that with her so that she can appear in the last film? And they've confirmed no.
Ah, right, okay. Well, anyway, we don't care because if it's anywhere near as good as the last ones, it's going to be a massive hit. Massive hit.
Huge. Have you seen the trailer, Uncle Eric?
I've seen the trailers, yeah.
The trailer for the one that's coming out at Christmas is immense.
Which reminds me, talking of trailers, thank you, Rach. Thank you.
All right.
Come back next week here.
All right.
Got to. Because guess who's going to be on here as a little trailer?
Who?
The Harlem Globetrotters.
Oh, yes!
Yes! On this radio station, boys and girls. Come back to that. We better take a short break because we got close to that time already. We will see you in, quicker than you can make a cup of tea, really.
RTI.
Everybody okay? Remember your training, all right?
RNLI lifeboat crews are unpaid volunteers. They rescue 22 people every day. On a lifeboat, training is a matter of life and death, and it costs £1,000 a year for each crew member. As a charity, we receive no UK government funding, so our crew's safety depends entirely on your donations. Please call 0800 543 210 and donate £20 or whatever you can afford. Because next time, this could be for real.
RTI.
Welcome back to part 2 of Postcard from Poprad with me, Eric Wiltsher, Leigh Banks, over in the United Kingdom, and Rachel in the continent of Australia.
Yeah!
Because she likes to be bigger than everybody else.
Well, if you've seen my backside lately, you'd understand why I say that.
Oh, stop it, you. Stop it, you. Stop it, you. Do you know, I was actually life coaching a young lady on Wednesday who really believes that she's got a big bottom. And she hasn't. It's just some nasty, horrible bloke telling her. Ridiculous.
They just say stupid things.
I know they do.
Can I just make a public announcement?
What, are you going to apologise? Hang on, I've got to say hi to Green Cat and to Mickey B.
Mickey Bean.
Get on with your announcement, will you?
Thank you very much. I just want to tell the ladies and gentlemen that Eric Wiltsher is once again guilty of fake news. It is not possible to make a cup of tea or a cup of coffee in that break, the ad break in this show. He's been saying it for years. I've just tested it and I could not do it. Hence the fact I was late back for the beginning of this show, which he's now telling me off for.
Oh, dear.
I never even mentioned it.
Didn't you?
No. Didn't take you off. We were too busy chatting about bottoms.
Yes.
So you didn't... Bottoms?
Yes.
What are you talking about bottoms? Well, Eric talks through his most of the time, doesn't he?
Well, if you'd have been here like you were supposed to, you would know what we were talking about.
But I was doing a test for the general public to see if he could make a cup of coffee, and his ad break and he's lying. It's fake news.
If you can't make a cup of coffee in 1 minute, then I suggest you take your other hand out of your pocket.
General public. Is that like general public? That's not the same as major disorder, is it?
No.
Rage up to your group. They can't be stopped. Why are you saying that?
Because you two are off today. You're off it.
Do you know what, boys and girls?
What?
This is the man now that sits there right the way through the show looking at Facebook, as you probably noticed. This is also the man that said, I don't like Facebook, I'm never going to use it, it's a load of old rubbish, and refused to even use it for months.
Well, it's all right for certain things, isn't it? It's like if you like faces and you like books, Facebook is a waste of time.
Yes.
No, I can't say this. I have so many friends on Facebook. Please control yourself, Leigh. Please control yourself.
Talking of big things, as we weren't.
My big bunny.
Where's my bunny gone?
Where's my big bunny's body? That's what they said when they died on the plane. The owner's gone. I said, where's my big bunny's body? Like that, because they didn't only kill them. United Airlines, yet again, United Airlines, didn't only kill the bunny, right? They disappeared the corpse as well.
How do you know they killed it?
Well, I don't. That was a bit of fake news from me. Yes. I assume from this story that...
Now, come on, say sorry to United Airlines.
I'm so sorry, United Airlines. I'm sure you didn't kill that big bunny. I'm sure that big bunny killed itself. It committed suicide in your hold.
Hang on a minute. What was on the menu?
Exactly. It's ended up in those little trays. That's why they couldn't find their big bunny.
I think it's terrible for United Airlines. This is a PR nightmare for them.
Well, they're ridiculous. Do you know? This is true story. This is true breaking news. Not fake news, the absolute truth. Me and the glorious Andrea sat on a United Airlines plane, watched a film, right, and then were told to get off because they weren't going to fly anywhere.
Right.
Oh.
Okay.
Well, no, this is sad, and it's...
It is sad for the big bunny.
I understand how he...
Called out to me. Couldn't see it.
Oh, my God. I want...
It's not me, is it? Rach, it's not me, is it?
I was helping out.
Yeah.
Stop shouting.
Yes,
I'm
exactly.
sorry.
I'm going to finish what I was saying.
Shouting.
I'm going to try to finish what I was saying. I know what it's like to have a pet that you love, and if I was somewhere with my best friend Gordy, and he was in the hole as animals have to be.
He's a little doggy.
Yeah, but if something happened to him and he didn't make it to the destination, I would be bereft. So I understand how it feels. But do you know what the most amazing thing is? I would love a big bunny. This is a 3-foot giant rabbit, right? I want a big bunny because I want to have a giant hat.
Dave has just said
Right.
Postcard from Poprad's like a truck rolling down a steep hill towards oblivion with no brakes.
Cool. I like that.
Thinking about you.
That's wonderful. That's the best compliment we've ever had.
It probably is. It's
heading
the only one we've ever had. And it wasn't even a compliment.
Heading towards a village of big bunnies. The truck's out of control.
Yeah, it's tragic. No, honestly, this big bunny. My friend James Stewart had one, and it was called Harvey. It was 6 foot tall, and you couldn't see it because it was invisible. And I've always wanted one of those to go with my imaginary friends.
All right.
Dave says it is a compliment.
Thank you. Delta had thrown a passenger off a plane because he used the bathroom during a 30-minute delay on the tarmac in another PR disaster for US Airlines. This was Kima Hamilton, who was booked to fly from Atlanta to Milwaukee and couldn't hold on.
No.
So went to the toilet.
Well, the thing is, what I was telling you about when I was on a United Airlines and we watched a film before they chucked us off the plane, we couldn't go to the bathroom either. Well, they've got to have some arrangements made for people who get taken short. You've been serving them drinks for the last 2.5 hours.
But I don't think anybody's realised what's going on. Nobody's tumbled it.
No.
Because what happened when the man used the toilet is it went down on the tarmac.
Oh, that's disgusting, yeah.
So what happens when you're flying at 26,000 feet and you go to the bathroom?
Do not look up and yawn at the same time.
A block of ice.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord above.
No, but I mean, they say you have to, in America in particular, on planes, in particular on American aircraft, if the cabin crew instruct you to do something, you have to do it. And if they say, please sit down and fasten your seatbelts until the fasten seatbelt line is no longer illuminated, it means that you have to sit down with your seatbelt fastened until the light is not illuminated.
Yes.
But what if you're taking short? What if you have to mictulate?
You've got wet trousers.
You need to talk.
And then you get chucked off the plane for messing the seat up.
You say to you have to draw attention to yourself with the little light that calls one of the cabin crew and say, look, I'm really sorry. I know you said that we're not allowed to get up, but if I don't go to the toilet, I'm going to do it here all over this seat right now.
That's what this bloke did. That's what he did, and they told him he couldn't go.
You don't just get up and go.
No,
well, he'd been asking for ages. No, he did.
What people don't realise is you're actually on somebody else's property when you're on a plane.
But if you're in somebody's house and you say you want to go to the gentleman's ablution, they don't expect you to do it on the couch.
No, that's true.
A little bit different though. When I go to my friend's place, I'm not sat in the couch and then asked to fasten my seatbelt.
No, that's true.
Some of my friends probably do that.
Hi to John and hi to Noel as well. Actually, there's a great story of that one coming out of JFK Airport. I did as I was told on the plane, Rach.
Did you?
Yeah.
That's unheard of.
Because as he started to taxi, it went judder, 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 and stopped. I thought, no. And we were in the days of the reserved seats where you had to fly. So you had a standby ticket, but if they didn't take you on the first plane, they had to get you on the next one. Yeah. And on the second plane, there was 7 passengers. So judder, 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 stop. Yeah. And captain comes on and says, very sorry about this. We seem to have a hydraulic problem on the final checks. We need to go to LaGuardia to get spare parts. And, of course, they want to go to LaGuardia Airport, New York, at rush hour. Now, the chances of getting across New York at rush hour are pretty much zero. So he starts off with fruit juices, and then he says, please remain in your seats with your seatbelt on, just for safety. So we do as we're told. At which point he said, we can have a drink and then another one. And because we'd all got a stewardess each on this 747, the girl said, do you mind if I come and sit and talk to you, sir? Because we're going to get bored. I said, no, not at all. I said, but can you bring a case of Southern Comfort and a bucket of ice? She said, yes, that'd be a good idea, wouldn't it? You want to eat with it? No, thank you. So I did my best to start drinking my way through these 24 bottles of Southern Comfort with ice. And the next thing I remember is the young lady waking me up as I was on final approach at Heathrow Airport.
You drank 24 bottles of Southern Comfort?
No, I don't think I managed all 24.
No, you'd be dead.
Yes.
with a full bottle. No, Jim Morrison used to drink, I was reading it yesterday, 2 6-packs of beer and 24 whiskies for lunch.
No, these are the miniatures, Leigh, not whole bottles.
I'm just making it clear. Do you remember, I'm not saying where this happened because it would be embarrassing for everybody involved.
Say hello to Kylo first.
Hello, Kylo.
Hey, Kylo.
Hello, Kylo. Oh, we've just had a message from Dottie Dorothy.
Have we?
Yeah, she says, I love this talk about going to toilets. That's her age. That's her age.
Kylo, it's not Kylo Ren, is it? That's just frightening.
No.
And she says she wants a big bunny like Rachel.
Anyway,
Yeah,
we're going to move on to some more news, so we'll run out of time. A mother of a 16-year-old moped thief was caught by the actor Tom Hardy.
Good on you, Tom.
After running away from a crash. Apparently, this mum's son is mentally ill, and hopefully he's getting a bit better now, which is a good thing. But no, Tom Hardy actually, because I think he does a lot with child issues, if I remember rightly.
He's now. I don't know how Australia takes Tom Hardy, but at the moment, Tom Hardy is the hardest man in the world. He's taken over from Jason Statham. He's taken over from them all, and he actually lost. He made that thing taboo where everybody said they couldn't understand the word he was saying.
Yeah.
I watched that. I could understand everything, but he lost £2.5 million on that. So he must have been in a bit of bad mood.
Lee,
What?
You
What?
talk
What?
foreign in the first place.
Who talks foreign?
You do.
Are you being rude about my accent?
Might be.
Yes.
That's fine. That's fine then, as long as I know.
I like Tom Hardy. I like him a lot.
Yeah. Well, anyway, Tom Hardy was the hero. I'm leaving time for this particular next story because
I wanted to ask Rachel if she thought Tom Hardy was sexy.
Yes, but not as sexy as you, Uncle Leigh.
I love you.
I was going to say get a room. Then I thought, no,
because I'm buying her a bed.
He's got me a bed.
Exactly.
Got her a bed. A bouncy bed.
I knew that was coming.
Twin beds, one for each leg.
Yeah, okay. Giannis is with us as well because I want to leave time for this one because I'm sorry, everybody. Leigh is about to rant. So turn the volume down a little bit now because some of you will remember about 2-3 years ago we exposed Wikipedia for carrying fake news on this programme. Way before all those clever monkeys did it. And we called on the education ministers to not say to every child use Wikipedia because you stand to the reason you're going to get fake news. This week we find out the gentleman who started Wikipedia was a gentleman called Jimmy Wales, has decided...
The former porn king.
Yeah, he's decided in his infinite wisdom that he's going to start a news site crusading against fake news. Did I miss something there?
Well, it depends. You see, it's such a complicated story, this is really. Because the funny thing is, what happens here is that as soon as anybody mentions fake news, everybody thinks of the traditional press. Nobody thinks of the real perpetrators of fake news. And fake news really began with the misinformation presented as reality by things like Wikipedia.
Hold on.
Yes, dear?
Pot calling kettle black.
What? Why?
Rachel, this is the man that worked for a newspaper, which I had, and I'm not quoting verbatim because I can't remember verbatim, but along the lines of this. Elvis is alive and well on the moon.
No, Elvis was no, there again, he's just given fake news. That is complete fake news. This man should be taken out and shot. That is not true at all. If Elvis was working down our chip shop, we at the Daily Star found Elvis working in the chip shop in Sheffield. Then we found a double-decker bus on the moon. That's a totally different thing.
So it's a double fake news then?
No, double-decker fake news. It wasn't fake news. It was a joke. They were joke stories.
Yeah, it was the headline.
There was one story. There was one that was actually true, and that was the story about Kylie Minogue being an alien.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And everyone was saying they wish she'd belt up. Ha ha!
That wasn't funny.
Oh, she's awful.
That was a reference to Rachel having her belt stolen by Kylie Minogue.
Yeah, that's not true. So anyway, you've got this guy who started Wikipedia, which is well known for fake news, and now he's decided to start a site crusading against fake news. So I'm just wondering, because I haven't looked, I'm not even going to look at his website. I just wonder if anybody can tell me if it is that he's actually leading with Wikipedia, the fake news of the world.
Well, I understand. You see, again, you've got to go back to the beginning of this thing. And right at the beginning, when people wrote history books and encyclopedias and things like that, they weren't written by the ordinary man on the street. They were actually written by scholars and teachers and people like that. Mm. So there was some credence to what they were doing. But now, because everybody's thrown away the ability to write and talk in any kind of sense that sounds like a proper language or looks like it, and now does everything in text speak where they have no capital letters, no punctuation and nothing, Wikipedia is just turning into a bit of rancid rubbish.
So that's not new news.
No, that's old news.
Yes. Very old.
Elvis in the chip shop, isn't that new?
Talking of old, hello, Mr. Trump. I'm sorry, you can't have it back. It's not for you. A handwritten parchment of the US Declaration of Independence. You'll never guess where it's been found. Near Chichester, in England.
It has, hasn't it? Yeah.
I can't believe this.
Why?
Well, apparently the bloke that was involved in writing the original Declaration of Independence had this handwritten copy of it, and he did go to the UK. It's now known as the Sussex Declaration, which is a completely ridiculous thing to call it when you think about it, isn't it? Bizarre is probably the word.
I reckon this guy stole it, and now his ancestors have all been sent to Australia.
Sorry, Rach, it did not turn up in Australia. It turned up in the UK Chichester, not the Australian version.
That's all right, because we only steal cool things like, bread and the ashes.
Oh, right. Yeah, you do steal the ashes, don't you?
Yeah, and trucks. And, you steal trucks as well.
Yeah, there is that to it. Hi to Express. Thanks for joining us again this week. It's very good. A US clothing chain called Nordstrom. Now, everybody thinks Nordstrom comes from Scandinavia because there's lots of people around here wear Nordstrom. And they genuinely think that it's, a Scandinavian brand. It's not. It's an American brand. And what they've done is they've launched a line of dirty jeans.
I go out with dirty jeans.
I mean,
this is
Rach. Is this?
Do you know what? It's madness because they will charge people $425 a pair, which is £330 for Uncle Leigh.
Yeah,
a pair. Go down to whatever the Kmart is in your local village. Buy a pair. Send it to Rach. I'll tie it to the back of Rob's work truck.
Yeah.
And drive it around the outskirts of Melbourne and send it back to you for the small price of, £50.
Yes.
That could become a new business, couldn't it?
It so could, because that's about as much sense as this makes.
Yeah.
I don't get, what else I don't get? That you buy jeans with holes ripped in them deliberately. I'm still
well, Rach, I've got to disagree with you a bit there.
Why?
Because he wouldn't fit into his jeans if they didn't have holes in them.
No, because there is a trend where the derriere part of the jean is now torn. And if it's a particularly nice young lady wearing the derriere open jeans, it can be... Well, I have to wear blinkers in the summer now.
And gloves.
Are these the jeans that came to notice in the 80s and they've got plastic in the cheeks instead of...
Yes.
Do you remember those?
Yes.
I always thought that it was very
that's like
hilarious.
Do you remember those ones in the 80s where they were all one pair of jeans was made up of pockets from other jeans?
Yes.
The patchy jeans. They were supposed to be uber cool.
Yeah, they were uber stupid.
Pair of jeans on the planet is a pair of Levi 501s, and that's the end of the story. I mean, really, what is this madness? Dirty jeans with no backside in them. What's going on?
I don't know.
It's because we have a sedentary life and we all think that we should be macho like Tom Hardy, and we just have to wear things which represent this rugged way of life because we're all sedentary little fat people who go to the gym and have no hair and wear baseball caps backwards.
Whatever. Rach. I can't quite... It goes over my shoulders now, fits in my arms, that's all right. Doesn't quite fit the tummy yet.
Hey.
But I think in another 4 weeks it will. My original 1980s 501 jean jacket.
Oh.
Wear the jeans to match at the same time. No matchy denim. That's very uncool.
Oh,
Double denim is very, very fashionable now, Rachel.
Oh.
Double denim is the thing to do.
Proper brass buttons. Oh.
Not be, and it never will be, and it never should be. It should be killed with fire.
Oh.
Jeremy Clarkson began it as a new fashion. We are now all aficionados. There is Jeremy Clarkson and Tom Hardy in this world.
I rest my case. If anything that man wears needs to be burnt with fire.
Rach, have you seen... Hang on, let's ask our official fashion guru. So you know those... what I call 1960s jackets, which are now back in fashion, where you have a brown patch on the elbow of each jacket. The summer jackets with the sort of captain's gold pretend type buttons on them. You know the ones I mean, Rach?
Blazers.
Yes, I do. And Rob's nodding feverishly like he thinks that's great. And now I'm about to tell you that burn it.
No, because the apparently it's perfectly acceptable for me to wear my jeans with that jacket.
Because it's different,
jeans with a jacket.
That's quite stylish.
Is it?
Jeans with a jacket is dead sexy.
Is it? Oh, I'm wearing it. Yeah. I'm wearing it for next week's show. That's the end of it. Twitter shares have opened 10% up after the latest results beat expectations. Although they didn't make loads of money, they got lots more people on. And do you know what? I'm kind of getting that.
Why?
I'm kind of getting it.
Twitter's very good, actually. I used to dislike Twitter a lot as well, but I quite like Twitter now.
You dislike anything that's a computer?
Well, yeah, I suppose I do, really. Yeah, I like typewriters and pens and quills.
Oh, me too. I like slate. I like the slate.
Yeah, slate with a bit of chalk. You're right, absolutely. Yeah, that's it. Put it in the post. A couple of days, it's there, isn't it?
So, are you eco-friendly, boys and girls?
No.
Oh.
Yes.
No, I've just done.
I dread to think. Now, I had to check this story about 10 times, I must be honest. Because I saw it first, I thought, yeah, right. It's more of Lee Banks's headline stories from a defunct newspaper. There's a moth. There's a moth that now eats plastic.
Yeah, plastic
We
moth.
love
It's not a plastic.
We love
It's not a plastic moth. Go on, Rach.
It's the greater wax moth.
greater wax moth. It is. That's quite right. And beekeepers hate this moth.
Because it eats the wax off their beekeeping machine things.
That's right.
Houses. It does.
It's hopeless. They're called beehives.
Well, I call it a bee house. That's it. It's a bee house.
Yes.
Remember, he's very rich. He would never have a hive. He only ever has a house.
Vincent, have you
once.
just joined us to help me out?
Vincent?
Vincent.
Hello, Vincent.
Because
Are
Rachel
you
and
a
I
black
we are doing our best, and we're failing dismally this week with Mr. Banks.
I get your pet.
He's got his shouty voice on today.
He has, hasn't he?
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. It's my shouty voice. Vincent, we like you.
Leigh, could you move back a bit from the microphone seriously?
Yeah,
with 7 minutes of the show left to go, you're finally telling me off. I'm too loud.
Yes.
I told you that the whole way through, but you didn't believe me.
No, it's
Right,
true.
I'm in the other room now.
That'll do.
I'll have to shout so you can hear me.
Apparently, these... now I can hear the echo from him. Apparently, these moths do actually eat plastic, and they've done some tests in sort of things the size of fish tanks. And after a couple of weeks, the plastic's all gone.
And the fish.
This could be very cool. What they've got to do now is see if that process would work. If they can isolate the right enzyme.
Yes, absolutely.
Work. So if they can do that, this is going to solve. If this works, this is going to solve so many problems because we are absolutely being horrible to our planet with plastic and other things. But plastic's a real big problem, especially for marine life and all the lovely and the fishies and the duckies and and we love ducks on this show. We just love them. So
there is a fatal flaw with this.
What?
Oh, no, seriously, if you think about it, right, in principle, I understand what it's saying. I can see it being a good thing. Can you hear me, by the way? Because I'm now standing on the road outside.
Yes.
And,
unfortunately.
Yeah, but if these big greater wax moths eat all the plastic bags, now that plastic has to go somewhere within inside this moth. So these moths will grow to be absolutely gigantic and you won't be able to get rid of them.
Sometimes you despair, don't you? Anyway, I'm sorry to go on about tech and stuff this week, but we think that's a cool idea with these moths cleaning the world up. We've got a bit more tech news to come in. Google's parent company, Alphabet, have really sort of turned everything on its head because their quarterly results were up 29%, even though an enormous amount of companies have actually dumped YouTube because all the big hoo-has about it. But they've carried on and done it. And equally, the once big computer name, Microsoft, and I say once because they're not selling as many personal computers and licenses as they used to. Well, that's probably because they give them away now. Stupid journalists. What can I tell you?
Apple are much better.
What?
Because Apple's much better.
I'm allowed to eat apples now.
Oh, yeah?
Apples are delicious.
Anyway.
I don't like bananas.
In other news, do you know who else dumped YouTube?
Who?
The Australian government dumped YouTube.
Why?
Yep.
Why?
For the same exact reason as everybody else. I mean, there's all this sort of rubbish content coming up and nobody asked for it, nobody authorised it, and it's just not good. So the Australian government dumped it, so did our big telco Telstra, among others. But they're leaking in droves.
Anyway, very quickly, Microsoft has done a reinvention of itself. Basically, it's enormous in terms of cloud storage, and that's where a huge amount of its real profits are coming from. Now, we haven't got time to do the news on a World War II sign that was found in a Norfolk village. Sorry, Harry, I know you live there. We're not even going to bother doing the story about a concert hall that's changed its name because someone thinks it's toxic to use the name because it once was connected to the slave trade. So we're not even going to bother with that, and nor are we going to bother with Madonna because I think that's a bit of a non-story as well. But we have got time just to ask Rachel, what's she doing this weekend?
Robbie and I are going to do absolutely nothing this weekend. We haven't done nothing for weeks, so we're going to do nothing, but we are going to enjoy our bed, which is, how wide is it, Robbie?
Really wide.
There you go.
Really wide. Like it's really... Actually...
2-point-something metres. 2-point-something metres it is. 2-point-something.
2-point-something metres. So basically...
You've got a metre on your bed? Why have you got a metre on your bed?
So Robbie's still going to be sleeping on the edge.
Robbie kept charging me.
Yeah, exactly.
No, poor Robbie's, with a bed that size, he's still going to be sleeping on the edge.
Of course he is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like postcards.
And Rachel, apparently you've got to stop talking about rotten fruit.
Yeah, rotten. Why? Who says that?
Because they're questioning why we're saying, well, we're talking about rotten fruit talk.
Is that Dave Rhodes questioning?
Yes.
Yeah.
I can't lie to you, Rach. I can't. I just can't.
Bananas.
Yes. Have you got a bank holiday this weekend, Rach?
No.
Ha 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 ha.
We had one this week for Anzac Day.
Of course you did, yes.
Yes,
yeah, very, very important day. Mr. Banks, you've got about 10 seconds.
I know, I always get the rough end of the stick. I'm going out to buy Rachel a new bed, so stick that in your pipe and smoke it, Robbie.
It won't, you can't light it. Stupid boy. Rachel, time to say goodbye.
Goodbye, Rachel.
Oh dear. And time for Leigh to say, sooty and sweet style.
Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.
And we'll see you all again at the same time next week, boys and girls, here on Postcard from Poprad, your very, very, very alternative news show. What have we got coming up next? We've actually got Steve Bishop. My word, he's going to be delving into his revived 45s. Amazing. Thank you, everybody, for the contributions. We'll see you all again soon. Take care and have a really good week till next week. Bye-bye.
From the heart of Europe to the world, this is RTI.
RTI.